This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
You have a rich person's name. Like, you should be a billionaire with the name Winfield.
And co-host Marney Winfield.
Checking the microphones, going good.
It is the 12th of August. The year is 2021 of the Lord. Something. My name is Corey Winfield.
My name is Marney Winfield.
I am not a billionaire, but I should be, according to Adam there. How you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, real good. You got a smile on your face.
Mm-hmm.
Look, your cheeks look a little rosy.
Yeah?
What that means? I'll have to Google it.
Google that.
So I posted a blog today.
I did read it.
Let's get right into it. And I spelled something wrong. I said, God, let me down this path, but I meant to put led me down this path. Yeah, there's little things I should probably change, but I didn't have a lot of time to write it, but I wanted to write the blog for somebody out there in the world struggling with addiction. Because it's true. You know, there are dumb questions. And Bonnie, I think it's Bonnie. This is Jones, let's call her.
Okay.
She asked me, are there stupid questions? Because the title of the blog is Stop Asking Dumb Questions. She's like, are there dumb questions? Yeah. One that I would ask God all the time. Why? Why again? Why can't I figure this out? But I realized, though, when I stopped asking stupid questions to God, I stopped asking him to answer my dumb question and started to ask him for things. Like, God, please let that be the last time I drink.
Right.
Let that be the last drink I ever take. Then things started to change a little bit. You know, I woke up at, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. And I started looking for stuff because, like so many people, I want to know what path I'm supposed to take. I want to know what decisions I'm supposed to make. But it doesn't work like that. You know, I can, God, please, like, let it be so obvious. And even if he makes it obvious, I still go, no, it's too obvious. That's not what I need to do. And then sometimes he has to yank me. Get on this path, son. But for me, you know, I was looking for those kind of things, and it said you have not because you ask for not. You know, there's so many people, oh, God has forsaken me. Oh, he doesn't exist. But have a little faith. See where do you have anything else to lose?
Right.
I don't believe in that. Okay.
What does that hurt?
You gonna go to hell? I mean, like, what's the worst that's gonna happen if you have a little faith? And just from my own personal experience and asking God for things that I want, I asked God for Marnie and Look was sitting across from me doing the podcast. I mean, I didn't ask for you by name,
not specifically,
but that was something that I wanted. I wanted to have a wife, and I didn't want to just have a wife. I didn't want to just get married. Earlier in my life, I probably did, you know, like, oh yeah, one day, man, when I stop drinking, I'll get it all together. It doesn't work like that either. But I asked, you know, God, I want a woman who's going to love me and a woman that I can love. Poof.
Well, it wasn't exactly like that.
No, it wasn't. He had to pull me back on the road because, like, I was like, oh, God, you made it so obvious. No. Because I thought I didn't have anything to offer you. I was like, what is it? I mean, I had some to offer you, but that wasn't really.
He's going to go there, really.
Well,
Man.
I mean, just not like that, though. Definitely.
Right.
But still. It did take an act of God to bring us, a lot of them actually, together. A lot of this decision, that decision. I mean, there's so many things that could have happened that we would have never even met. We would have never known each other. Like, I mean, just obviously if we never met, we would have never known each other. But like, I don't know, the way things happen, it's like, I feel like we were destined to be together. And God knew that, and when I asked God, please, like in Boyne City is where I was living. And I was like, God, please let me, find a woman that, that will love me and that I can love. And then there are people that were around. I thought, well, no, but I was really guarded. I really was. And because I didn't want to just go out and sleep with people. I didn't want to just go jump into a relationship. And it's not like I was, I don't know how to put it without you punching me in the face. And I don't want it to sound creepy or weird either, but I just don't. All right. It's like you're picking fantasy team. You're like, this running back looks okay. Like he's got some, yeah, but he fumbles a lot. Let's move on. Like it was I don't know. I really don't want it to sound creepy, but I was very, not judgmental, but I was very just guarded. And then you came along and then I thought, whoa, she's out of my league. Like I don't have anything to offer her, and you liked my personality, of course.
Man.
And so we kind of hit it up, but then I was just like, oh no. And then I got scared but it all happened how it was supposed to anyway. I'm going on way too long about this.
No, I think it's great.
Watching me over here struggle.
No, not at all.
Well, the same thing though with the guy, and when you ask him for, I wanted to start this company. Obviously, I did, and I wanted to do a podcast for myself, and I do. I wanted to have a nice play. I don't know, just everything is just falling in way beyond what I even asked for, almost. So my point is, have a little faith. It's not going to hurt you, and stop asking God, why did this relapse happen? Why don't? It's not your no. That's not. That's why I say it's a dumb question, because it's none of our business why it happened.
Right.
The fact is it did happen, and I wouldn't change any of the past because then I wouldn't be here with you. And I did learn from those things, as horrible as they were in those moments. I had to go through that, and I can honestly talk to people about, hey, this is what I did. And when I give people rides to treatment, I don't give them advice about what you should do, what you shouldn't do. I tell them not to use drugs and stuff, but, taking things serious in treatment is good. Joking around in treatment is good. You just got to pick the times to do it.
Right.
You have to, in my opinion, have fun a little bit, but you also, would have to take it serious. So besides that, that's just kind of common sense advice. If you want to move forward in your recovery, my opinion. But I don't tell people, well, you need to work the steps, or you need to go to NA, or you need to go to Celebrate Recovery. You need to read 8 pages of this every day. Nah, I don't do that, because everybody's different when it comes to that approach. Like, what are they going to do for their recovery? I don't know.
It's different for everybody.
I can tell them what's kind of worked for me, what hasn't worked for me, and some of the things that I ran into for myself that were problems.
Right.
Reacting, judging people.
I think you do a really good job as well of kind of having that in the same breath of saying what it is that you do that works for you, is saying, but it might not work for you. That's for, your recovery path is for you to decide what, the pieces of your program, and they can change. They can start off in the beginning more intense, more, the range of things might be different. And then you can kind of tailor it to what works for you. You figure out what you like and what you don't like. You figure out what works with the rest of your life. Because when you sit back and I've seen people who try to cram meetings. I do 3 meetings a day. It's like, are you spending time with your children? Are you are you doing everything you should be at work? Are you, cutting your lawn? Are you, it's the big picture is recovery. Living in recovery is all the pieces of your world being healthy and I guess you could use the word spiritually fit for all of those things. And not overwhelming yourself in one department or another. I mean, same thing with people that are workaholics. Mm-hmm. It's not healthy. You can have a huge bank account, but your love life, your social life, your family is all, ignored. And so it's all about balance.
Mm-hmm. That was the guy. Was it yesterday that I got read to? Yeah. And I took him to Midland, Michigan. And before he left the place he was at, some guy came out and was like, yeah, man, get out there, man. Make that money. You just go out and you make that money, man. Get back on your feet. You got this. And I got in the car and I was like, well, there was one time where I thought I just needed money to pay my bills and I'll be fine. It didn't work out so well for me. I paid a couple bills and I drank the rest away and then I forgot about that job that I was supposed to go to. And of course I got fired. Mm-hmm. So, for me, I should have been more careful thinking that money would solve it. And people probably told me, hey man, that's not what you need. This is something you would need to do. Cause people would always tell me what I needed to do too. And, obviously it didn't work for me, but it would have been nice. But at that time, I needed to go through everything I went through. So when I started putting it all together, though, I knew that I wanted to start a podcast because that would get the radio out of my blood. I didn't want to go back into radio. And then I wanted to start this company. I don't know what I'm doing, but why not? I can figure it out. And so I had a goal. I had a vision. I had an end game. I had something to work forward to. So if I got out and I worked at Burger King or wherever, not that Burger King actually pays pretty well right now. Mm-hmm. But whatever job I had, I didn't have to feel stuck. And that was a problem because not knowing what I wanted to do, kind of a foot in radio, a foot in school, and just kind of dangling in between, not really knowing what I want to do was very dangerous for me. And it made me feel less than. It made me feel confused. It made me feel uncomfortable. And I drank when I was uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't surprise me that I would relapse over and over and over again without any kind of clear direction of moving forward. So when I finally was like, this is what I'm going to do, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I can figure it out. I'm not going to give up. It's kind of like when I upgraded my computer. I'll figure it out. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm really good at taking computers apart now and putting them back together.
Yeah.
So, call me. I could probably hook you up.
Just make sure you block a good solid 7-8 hours.
Yeah, you might not get your computer back right away, but it'll work.
Might be worked exactly the same way as when you first gave it to him, but it'll be good. Carol with an E, our friend from Staples, we saw her tonight, and she was upgrading her computer. We did see her.
But see, she was smart about it. I think she actually let someone else do it for her. Mm-hmm. But Carol, if you ever need that 2 terabyte, see your boy. I'll hook you up. Solve it for you. But anyway, back to what I was talking about so deeply.
Money in your pocket.
Mm-hmm. And some kind of goal of this is what I'm going to do. And that made me feel like, okay, cool. Like whatever job that I took, like the Burger King, which I said does pay, I guess, pretty well. Then it became like that job was okay. Where before I was like, man, I was working at like a newspaper, answering phone calls from people saying, I didn't get my paper today. I was making like $8 an hour. I mean, it might have been under minimum wage. I don't even remember.
Wow.
I just knew it wasn't very fun. And I felt like I'm wasting my talent here. Like it just felt like I don't know, beneath me almost. And I shouldn't say that, but it was, Mm-hmm. And that's how I felt. And so it kept me stuck. So yeah, I get that paycheck, and guess what? Hell yeah, I'm going out to drink. I pay my electric this month. Next month, worry about that next month.
Right.
So I had to, I kind of used that story, but a lot shorter version of it, more to the point. And And he was just kind of like, yeah, man, like, yeah, maybe. But again, he'll have to figure that out himself. He can take homeboy's advice and go out there and kill it, get that money, son. And that's, one of the problems I think with homeless places, because they just want people to go out and get that money. Well, they're not doing anything with their mental health,
Right.
and there's a lot of issues, mental health issues, substance use issues. I mean, there's a lot of issues. And of course, those are like peanut butter and jelly, they go right with each other. Mm-hmm. And going out and getting a job. Wait, hold on. What do you think's going to happen here? Like that's so unproductive. Where if, we could put people up in a house that's cheaper than the police coming out every day and, put them up in a little house, say, hey, look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to work on that mental health. We're going to get it figured out. And yeah, you have a place to stay. You don't have to go sleep in the woods, or of course you're going to go to use drugs and drink because you have no hope. You see nothing in your future. That seems to be a start, because not everybody who's homeless is there because of bad things. Sometimes people get out of jail. Sometimes people get out of prison. And then the city reacts by, well, we don't want them here. So, we'll make sure that the apartment places that are here won't rent to those people. And I don't know if it goes that far or that deep, but somebody in the city needs to step up and say, look, we're going to build our own little apartment complex over here. Or they tell the apartment complexes that are in town, hey, if you want to be here, you're going to have to block some of this off, because all they're doing is creating more homeless people with people that did their time. They paid their dues, and depending on what the crime is too, but
yeah,
and actually taking time to look into it, because let me see the police report. Let me see the files. Let me see what's going on, instead of just going, oh, nope. Nope. Attempted murder charge. Well, what happened? How are you out? Like, how can somebody have a charge so bad that they don't even do a day over a year in a jail? Didn't even get sent to prison, but now they have a felony. Now they can't own a gun. Now they can't get a place to live, and now that they're forced to be homeless. Mm-hmm. That to me is just pathetic, when there are other people out there that, that need help too, and you're adding to the cause, and they think, well, we're keeping them out of Traverse. No, you're not. They're living in your woods, man. And yeah, I am talking about Traverse City.
Yeah.
It's like, wake up. Wake up. You're spending more money by doing nothing. So enjoy that, taxpayers.
Yeah.
You're doing a good job. Where if you just build them little houses, and it doesn't have to be mansions. I'm talking about little, like, there's a shower, there's a room for a bed, you got some electricity running to it. I think that's a start. A friend of ours is in that situation, and he will move out of that very soon. He's trying, he's putting his stuff in all over, but he doesn't feel safe in Detroit. I don't blame him. I don't want to go back to Southwest Michigan. I don't want to go back to Fort Smith, Arkansas. Mm-hmm. Those memories, and I just don't want to live that again. Anyway,
Man.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go on a rant there. But I love God, and Jesus is awesome. Big fan.
Absolutely. No, I see what you're saying. I mean, I agree. And that problem is so big to tackle, but it does need to start somewhere with something like that, where, because people just don't want to look at the issue, but to start with some sort of housing, program, or change the conditions of the apartment complex, the rentals, and in this area to make them a little more felony friendly. I know that sounds really weird to say it like that, but it's just something needs to change. These people have nowhere to go, and that's not going to go away. No, I mean, it's not like they can work that off.
Right.
So they could have a pocket full of cash and a huge bank account and be a felon and have no place to go rent. Yeah. And they chances are they got evicted or lost their wherever they were living before because they went to jail, and nobody ever takes care of that stuff when they're, well, not nobody. That's not true, but it's often that happens.
There's a lot of different reasons that people are where they're at, and those people don't need to be there.
Yeah.
There are people that actually are good people, got caught up in something, and now they're forced to live this way. There's people out there that whose moms and fathers have passed away. They don't have siblings. They have nothing, as far as family and support. Where are they supposed to go? Who are they supposed to turn to? Right. Can you see why they're drinking every day and using whatever drug they can get their hands on? There's no hope. There's nothing. And what's so bad about helping people? If there was a plan in place that said, look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to get you this kind of help and this kind of help. Yeah, you can have this place to live. Like, we're going to help you, man. Like, they would probably break down and cry.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to be out in the woods doing that stuff. Nobody wants to. They're doing that to escape, man. That's the bottom line. And sure, some of them probably are so far gone that it's going to take a minute. But people didn't give up on me.
Right.
And it has to be at least an attempt would make me feel better. At least I can say, well, I tried. Did it work? Not for all of them, but does it ever? But we tried, and I still won't give up. Like, that's the kind of attitude I think it would take, instead of just, whatever, we don't see it's over here. No. I mean, if someone busts in 15 people every day from Detroit, I think people would freak out. I'm just saying. Not that I'm going to do that. I'm just saying.
No, but it's something, I mean.
I don't put people on buses.
No, you keep bringing it up and you keep talking about it, and, who knows what will happen.
Oh, getting people from, or you mean just the situation?
I'm talking about the situation.
I don't know.
It's got to start somewhere.
I'm raising my hand. Like, let's go. And I reached out to the guy, and I don't know, it was on LinkedIn, and I'm not real familiar with that. I sent him a message, but he didn't write me back. But again, if he did, I don't even know if I know how to check it. So maybe I should try a little harder, or not. Maybe I should stop trying and start doing.
Right. There you go.
I like to say. Yeah.
It's a very admirable goal.
I really feel that God's leading me towards that, though.
I think so, too.
And I think, and the fact that our buddy's there, I don't think that's an accident.
Right.
I mean, he seriously is like the angel of Traverse City. Like, the things that he does for people is just, it's amazing. And it's amazing that he's, in this situation, and it'd be easy for him to jump on a bus and head back to Detroit and say, F it. It'd be so easy for him. But he's not. He's sticking it out. I told him today, I talked to him today, and I told him that he gives me a lot of hope. And to see that he can go through that and still have a pretty good attitude, like that shows me a lot. So much props to my man, Tyrone.
Yeah.
You're going through a lot, buddy, but I notice what you're doing, man, and I think you're making a huge difference in people's lives. And you might not seem like it, man, like when you tell people, or when you pass out a flyer and say, hey, you can get into treatment. You don't have to do these drugs, They might not act on what you're saying right now, but maybe in 5 days or 10 days or a year, maybe one day down the road, they will go, you know what, Tyrone's right. I'm tired. This is much. This is too much. And there is a way out, that I don't have to keep struggling like this.
Right.
But addiction's hard. Ask God for it. Ask God for some help. Don't ask him why you keep doing it.
Right.
He'll show you again and again. Well, this is why. But just think about how you pray, though. I told you last week was to ask for a boat. Where were we at?
Meeting.
Dairy Queen. Oh, yeah, we were at the meeting in Coloma, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, things are going great. Marney doesn't pray right, So I started asking for boats and stuff, because you're just like, I want help and everybody to be great. Like, I need to start asking for boats and a bigger place to live. Like, come on. I was just kidding, sort of.
My prayer in general is just and I did say this, is that I always am just grateful and say thank you for everything that you've given me, and thank you for another day of, sobriety and health. And I do pray for health and happiness of myself and others. And it kind of covers the board for me. Like, if I just can get those prayers in, I'm good. I can fall asleep.
Yeah, I got
the boat. I don't need.
Well, yeah.
Nor do I want.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
It's kind of an inside joke.
Mm-hmm. Just try to pray for things you want. Just try to stay positive with it. Don't ask for silly answers to questions that you could probably really answer yourself. But yeah, I got to change the blog though, because I got to make it sound better. But no, that goes to a friend who clearly having a hard time. I haven't talked to this friend, but I guess the person went back to treatment, and there's a few issues, I believe. I don't know for a fact anything except the person went to treatment, and that's good. Mm-hmm. Because no matter if you have 5 years clean, 8 years clean, there's help. And for people like me, and probably like you too, Marney, like when you start it, that's not stopping.
Right.
And the next one's going to hurt even worse. Mm-hmm. So I don't judge those people. And actually, I'm proud of them for going to get help. So big props. And I don't know if that person even listens to the podcast, but hopefully that person would read the blog and go, is he talking to me? Maybe not. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I try not to make it so clear cut, but I doubt they would. I think it probably would go over that person's head. Maybe.
I was talking to a person that came through recovery housing, and I was a little concerned at first if he was gonna make it or not. And I tell him this straight up. I have whole conversations about it. But this individual had gone, I think he said, he'd gone into detox 6 times. He'd gone through detox 6 times. He'd gone through residential treatment at our residential twice. And then he had gone into recovery homes. And obviously he had been struggling, like most of us, with addiction for decades. And he basically was like, I'm done with it. And uses very choice words. I'm done with this bleep, and I'm totally bleeping done with this bleep for the rest of my life. And I'm like, whoa, okay. But man, I tell you what, he's coming up on, I think, 18 months now. And he's doing great. Just bought a house and in a good, healthy relationship. Working. So, yeah. I mean, you never know when the miracle's going to happen. Mm-hmm.
But thinking about it like that is a good thing. He's to that point of, I'm done. I guess that's the surrender.
Yeah, but I mean, what would have happened on that if that 6th time they were like, nope, you've already been here 5 times before.
It happens.
You can't come back in.
Sometimes that happens, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know, it's sad.
And sometimes it's the PIHP that says that.
Right. That's what I'm talking about.
Sometimes it's a treatment center. They have somebody working there who's just like, you know what? I control who comes in here, who doesn't. I've had people like that at SWIMBA, which is the PIHP in Southwest Michigan, which of course you need to go to resources at 217recovery.com. Click on that. Go to the PIHP page. Mm-hmm. And they were just like, well, when are you going to learn? What are you going to do? You just went like a couple months ago. And then when I was being sent to treatment for the last time, they were like, oh, and I was afraid that Riverwood and Ben Harbor, I thought everybody was a money grab. Nobody cares. And the people at Riverwood actually did care. and at least some of them, the ones that I know. But the people at SWO were like, oh, well, he probably just needs outpatient because that's cheaper. It's not about what's most effective. No. And that I almost said SHIT. It needs to change. It really does. Like, let's stop treating this as if we're buying kitty litter. Oh, that'll do. Really? I bet your cat hates you. Get that good stuff, man. Oh, they already do. Do you buy shitty dog food for your dog? No. Oh, you going to take your dog to a shitty vet? No. Well, we're sending people and half-assing it.
Right.
And then wondering, why isn't it working? Let's look at who's making the most money off all this. Oh, It's not treatment centers.
No.
It's not treatment centers.
It's not.
Let's look at the real people making the money. Mm-hmm. I actually called, and Tyrone got to talk to him because I had to jump out of the car. And it rang. It was like, I don't know, on hold for 30 minutes probably. My mom's governor's office.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Oh, Whitmer. Because I wanted to ask him who we talked to about finding out how much money was from liquor tax and cigarette tax, weed tax.
Shoot,
the
weed
lotto.
tax.
Because our schools ain't nothing. So why? Where's this money going? I want to know how much is made. I'm doing a book report on it.
Did you get through?
Book report. Yeah, I did, but then Tyrone had to ask. But we got to call the Secretary of State. I want some numbers, man. I want to see how much money was taken in and where's it going. If they won't tell me, then cool. I'll tell you about it, and you can tell your friends and tell their friends and get with my friends, and we can be friends. Mm-hmm. So I'm not even going to say what kind of reference that is because people know. If they don't, well, if you don't know, now you know. What's the next line of that? If you don't know, now you know.
I don't know.
Tyrone would know. No, actually, he wouldn't. Anyway.
Man.
Yeah. God's been very good to me, though. Mm-hmm. And I know it sounds like a bitch fest tonight, but it gets to a point where I'm just tired of it, man. And what are we going to do? It's us. It's people like us, Marney. It's you, it's people like Tyrone. It's people like Jason the Beck. It's other people that have been in addiction that are out there, that are going to make a difference, that aren't going to, shy away.
Right.
Because I have nothing to lose. What am I going to do? Shut my podcast down? Nope.
Yeah.
It just needs to change, and I'll get those numbers.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. I will. I'll write a nice little report.
I'm excited. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, because I really want to know.
I know.
Because it's not going where you think it's going. It's really not. Now with all the nickel and diamond going on. And because in Michigan, there's really not that many places where people can go if you're on Medicaid. There's not. And you would think, well, there's 100. No, there's not. Mm-hmm. Nope. And the rest are private.
Right.
So where's this money going?
Mm-hmm.
I want to know. How much is it? Man, it would probably blow our mind to see how much money they get from the lottery, from cigarettes, from alcohol.
Alcohol's got to be the biggest. Now weed, though. Weed for sure.
I think, alcohol and tobacco. But it would probably blow our mind how much they make every single day.
Yeah.
Blow our mind. It would be like, oh my God. And we start crunching numbers and be like, where's it going? But yeah, the governor's office didn't know. But see, that's something, if I was governor, I would know. Just saying. I need like 100,000 votes to get me on the ballot, but it can be done. Just have to ask God.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? I can do anything as long as I'm sober. But that's not me officially announcing anything. I'm just saying. Thanks for listening. We should probably wrap it up because I could go on for days about this. And you're laughing, Marty.
Just because because you need moments like this to get all this out. It's good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, because if you keep it all in for a while, and I use this podcast for something to get things off my chest and to have fun. So I'm using it for what I need to use it for.
Yeah.
People do listen, and that's really cool. I do appreciate that. I find that very, not shocking, but I don't know. It makes me feel good. So are we doing shout outs?
Thursday night shout out with 217 Recovery.
Go ahead.
Shout out to George, Charles. Didn't I shout out them last week, though? I was going to run down the whole fantasy. Jason.
Yeah, you did.
Brooks. Okay. I'm going to shout out to Josh Allen, to Travis Kelce, to Zeke Elliott, Dak Prescott. Why the hell not? Dak Shepard. Eminem. Did you hear about his ex Kim?
Who?
Kim Mathers?
No.
Is that her name? Mm-mm. I guess what they were saying was a suicide attempt, but the cops showed up and they said she was very uncooperative. Yeah, so hopefully she's doing better in a safe spot, man.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah. I'm glad she was able to at least get some help. Hopefully.
Yeah.
People take that very, very serious, and they should.
Well, I'm going to shout out to Sam T and to Renee and to Carrie and Tina and to Ashley and Ross and Tyrone. I'll shout out to Tyrone because you already did earlier, but
Cool.
And our moms.
Yeah, thanks for listening. I'm gonna shout out to God right quick.
Always.
So Jesus.
It's a given.
God, how you doing? Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you again on Saturday.
Night, everybody.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the 217 Recovery Podcast. Listen on the 217 Recovery app. Download the app and rate us in your app store.